streaming.
Let's get this party started. It's the February
Yeah,
open
man.
house of the Mastermind, Ridgely Goldsboro.
I am excited about this.
Yes.
And I will tell you, it's been a week. Not sure if anybody else has got that same thing going on, but it has been a week. Whew.
Ridgely, every week is a week.
Yeah, dude. Left last Wednesday, drove 10 hours, worked all day Thursday, drove 3 hours, went to the mastermind with Mike Filsame, driving an hour and a half Friday, which lasted through Saturday. Slept in on Sunday, drove another 2 hours on Monday, 5 hours Tuesday, 5 hours Wednesday, and then had to catch up yesterday. So yeah, it's been like whatever.
Wow. Well, you
Okay.
you're here now, and we're running the open house mastermind. So lots of people flowing in. Just some quick shout outs to people. Hi Bill, hi Bob, hi Brenda, Bridget. It's nice to see you again. Bruce, Kurt. Kurt's on here twice. So nice he's on here twice. Dennis and Cora. Dorina. Hello, hello. Dr. Art, Dr. Jean. Let's see. Greg and Jane, welcome back again. That's great. Jill, Jim, my new late night correspondent. Linda, Natalie, Pat, Paulette, Ray, welcome. Jill from Chicago. Hello, hello. So Elaine, welcome. This is going to be quite the session, Ridgely.
I know, man. I know you got some stuff. I see I have some friends that are here for the first time. Welcome everybody to our first of the month. Always inviting the world in to experience what the power of AI is. I see people talking to each other that know each other. Love that. That's
That's great.
very, very cool.
That's awesome. Now, before we jump into the deep end, I had promised
Mhm.
some people that we would catch you up to speed as to what AI is. And Ridgely, let's just do that. And it's simple to do because I will tell you that if you've not really dipped your toes into the AI world until now, that's a good thing because this world has been full of dead ends, wrong turns, uh, all kinds of technical nonsense that you and I and the rest of the good people here do not need to be involved with. Okay, I'm always fond of saying when word processing took the world by storm, the first word processing software out there like WordPerfect or whatever, you had to know all of these macro codes and formatting this, that, and the other thing until Office came along and you use Microsoft Word, and now you just type and it's just about the content, right? Originally, Steve Jobs had it all right all along when he was holding up the iPad, and he said, "This thing is going to be transparent to you. All you're going to be concerned
Mhm.
about is what you're doing on it." Right. And so
That's right.
the iPad is just a piece of glass and you do what you need to do. And it's transparent. And that's why it's so hugely successful. So I like to think of it this way. And the second I thought of it this way, not only did it become such a tool for me personally, but for both you and I originally, the way we thought of it, it took away all intimidation and it really made us feel ready to take on the world. Think of AI as the world's largest mastermind. Okay. The sum total of all the expertise that's been out there, this mechanism called AI has been trained on. And until now, it was kind of faltering and a little, weird and hokey in its responses. But as of the last couple of months, it has become so fluid in the output in the language that originally I largely now act as an editor and just kind of look at it for approval in terms of the output, as opposed to just a few months ago, acting as a person that needed to rewrite all the output, right?
Yeah, and let me just jump in there for a second. I am very blessed to be in a mastermind with Stefan Georgi, Mike Filsame, Alex Catani, some of the greatest copywriters on the planet. And they, to a person, believe that the art that has been so valuable until a year ago of copywriting is largely going to become obsolete. That's not to say that copywriters are going to become obsolete because copy is still going to be necessary. However, initial draft of copy, the initial ideation of copy, to spend the time that it used to take a good copywriter, myself included, to get to that space when you can use AI to get you a foundation and a plethora of ideas is simply foolish. And my top level copywriter friends, and I'm talking about people who make millions and millions of dollars. Little Stephen George is responsible for over $2 billion in sales from his copy, are all saying that copy editing is going to become the skill that is required for the copywriter to stay in business. Because there's no way that you, as a copywriter, can keep up with the speed at which things happen using AI. Hubert?
Right. No, for sure. And let me just also mention two very important things. And again, I want to give a shout out to Jim. So originally, Jim and I, late at night, we've been corresponding, getting into some very interesting areas, some philosophical ones. But for sure, we've been also thinking about how, reflecting upon how society at large, there's a big fear factor about AI. Okay, so I just want to mention something about that. The AI tools that we're talking about here to help us with, our writing and our personal tasks and so forth is very, very far removed from what's called general AI, right? General AI is the concept of an artificial intelligence that's, conscience or whatever, and it runs everything, right? It's beyond, the little model that's been built for tools here, there, and everywhere else. Whether or not, the Terminator movies can start happening tomorrow, I don't know. But in the scope of what we're doing here with these tools, it's, an entirely self-contained type of world. Now, I do also want to say this. Why the sudden big spike, in the last few months or the last year? AI has been around for a long time. But you know what? AI, until a year and a quarter ago, was embedded into the things, and there wasn't an interface that we could actually query, right? So only a year and maybe 2 months ago, 3 months ago, ChatGPT was formed, and it's called ChatGPT because it's an AI that you interact with by typing, like chatting, right? You actually bring up a box, you ask it questions, and you prompt it to do things, and it gives you answers. That revolutionized the interface because people like Ridgely and I could then say, oh my goodness, we don't need another layer to interact with this thing. Let's just start fooling around and asking it stuff. It turned out that how you ask it is super important. The concept for those new folks here is garbage in, garbage out. How you ask it, how you prompt it, that's a whole field called prompt engineering that is incredible. And once you follow a couple of tenets of it, you can do incredible things. Ridgely is very famous for a document called Ridgely's Private Prompt Library. Okay, and we have over the last year evolved it and really have broken through to really high levels. So folks, we'll just cut to the chase. The big breakthrough is this. Okay, Ridgely and I have used ChatGPT to first create the prompt that would best serve the scenario before you run the prompt, right? And that has made all the difference. Ridgely is fond of asking AI not only to help create a great prompt, but then to score the prompt 1 out of 10, 2 out of 10, and then iteratively ask questions of Ridgely until it's proven to really, go better and better. And later on in this demo, we're going to show you how it actually works. So Ridgely, do you want to kind of explain that a little bit and then also invite people, I'll look up the link, to schedule a private work session with you one-on-one. I'll go and get the link.
Yeah, sure. Anybody that needs to, cool. So I want to just touch base on something that happened to us just very, very recently. I see that fabulous Natalie is on with us, as is Jane from Team Group, one of our great clients. And we were charged with helping create a sales cycle, a sale using a very specific sales framework. Now, I want to point out something. That's not so easy, right? All sales frameworks are complex. Sometimes there are many, many levels. There are many approaches to it. And when somebody comes to us and says, hey, we'd like you to help us upgrade the sales presentation using this particular framework, that almost creates the implication, well, first we got to go learn the framework before we can create, if anybody's with me on this, right? However, there's this crazy tool called AI. And you don't have to do that if you can think, how could I use this tool to do to show the framework? So I want to show you guys something that just happened in a dialogue between Hubert and myself as an illustration of how we need to shift our thinking. And one of the things that we do on this mastermind is to challenge each other, shift your thinking, and keep asking, what else can we do? What else can we do? What else can we do? What else does it look like? So I'm going to share my screen and show you guys something. So we're doing this whole thing. And as you can see in the left navigation, there are 9 pieces to the action selling framework. 1, commitment, objective, people skills, ask the best questions, agree on need. This is something that in the old days, if you wanted to be valuable, you would have to go and figure all this out, right? You would have to figure this stuff out. So I said to Hubert, hey, let's figure out each act one by one, how we can use AI, even in the things that are not necessarily selling, but rather understanding the client, the prospect. Now, remember, our job is to help our client make more sales at a very high level. It's a very big company. Their sales are in the millions of dollars, generally speaking. Hundreds of thousands is the smallest one ever, right? So this Act 1 is a commitment objective. Now, Hubert's like, well, the AI doesn't apply to commitment objective. I go, no, AI directly does not apply to commitment objective. But how could we help the salesperson become more intelligent about what they're trying to accomplish by using the 9-part system of action selling, even though we don't know much about action selling? And so we went back and forth. Now, obviously, for most of you, as you know, Hubert is way smarter than me, but I get to interpret Hubert's talent on a regular basis and tap into it. So I'm explaining this whole thing, and I'm going, no, Hube, not for AI, but for the salesperson to really get clear on what they're doing. And he's not saying anything, and I see that he's typing, and I'm like, okay, he's just doing his thing. I'm just going to wait a minute, and when I wait a minute, he's going to go, you mean something like this? And so as you can see right there, there's an HU in the middle of the screen. That's Hubert. And it says, act as an expert sales leader. Great. Knowledgeable about the action selling framework. Ask me a series of questions to help me with Act 1, commitment objective. In your dialogue with me, coach me in implementing this act. The genius is not in the prompt. It's in understanding how to create this prompt to get the tool of AI to kick back something that enables you as a user to suddenly become uber smart. So look what happened. As an example, here came to, absolutely, I'd be happy to guide you through Act 1, commitment objective of the action selling framework. The commitment objective is a crucial first step as it sets the stage for the entire sales process. It's about defining a clear, achievable goal for your sales call or meeting that moves the sale forward. Let's dive in with some questions to help you define your commitment objective effectively. Now, notice this is at the moment purely generic. We could also, as we are going to give to the client, this one is generic, which is why we can share it with you. We can't share the specific one with you because that would be, it's confidential. It is now, AI is now going to ask the questions that are then going to help the salesperson set the commitment objective before they even think of going to a meeting with the client. This is, I hope everybody's understanding, this is completely game-changing in the world of prospect preparation. So if you're going after high-ticket sales, is it worth spending a half an hour to do this? Are you kidding me? Of course it's worth spending. Look at the output on a generic basis. Obviously, when you would do this, you would say, ask me questions and implement this act for this particular client of this URL, name of the company is this. And then AI would go in and start to figure out all that's available out there on that prospect. I hope you guys are tracking with me, man. This is crazy, ridiculous stuff. So then AI comes back and says, understand the customer's current situation. Can you describe your target's customer current situation or challenge that your product or service can address? Understanding this will help us tailor the commitment objective, what the customer values most. You realize you could ask that specifically about the prospect company that you're going after, so that all the knowledge that's out there on AI becomes instantly accessible to you in the preparation for the sales meeting. Identify desired outcomes. What specific outcomes does your customer hope to achieve by solving the challenge? Knowing their outcomes. We may or may not know that, but it helps inform the salesperson. Assess the sales stage. At what stage is the customer in your sales process? Obviously, the salesperson knows that. So you could say, are they at the awareness stage, considering solutions, or ready to make a decision? This will influence the nature of the commitment you seek. Are you guys tracking with me? This is crazy. Do you guys see what that just said? Assess the sales stage. Most people never even think of that. It's somewhere in the back of their brain. I don't know, where are they, early on in the game? Are they not there yet? Where are they in this person? They don't think about, oh, I'm going to craft my entire pitch based on understanding where my prospect client is right now, right? Nobody does that. Define a realistic commitment. Based on the customer stage in the sales process, what is a realistic commitment you can aim for by the end of the interaction? Right? Is it a follow-up meeting? Is it a verbal agreement? Is it a proposal? Right? Measure success. How will you measure the success of achieving this? Plan for obstacles. What potential obstacles could prevent you from achieving your commitment objective, and how can you plan to overcome them? Man, I'm sitting here reading this, I'm going, I am so glad that I don't have to be that smart anymore. Because I could not come up with questions that would enable me to be as prepared as I can be now to do my job better if I'm in a sales role, especially a high ticket sale, than by using AI. There is no way. Hubert, any comments?
I'm smiling because I don't know if everybody saw when I share my screen later. I'll pull up the cartoon, but in the reminder of today's email, I put in a AI cartoon, and one person's asking another person in the office, "Hey, have you figured out how to use AI in your office yet, or something in your work or whatever?" And he says, "I'm working on it." And on his computer, it says, "How do I use AI to do it?" And it says, "Oh, I'm working on it." The thing is here, the backdrop here is we've all been in situations where we get introduced to a framework and we're either told to use it or we agree that it's a good idea to use it. In the old days, now this happened to me, say 3 years ago originally. Mark Hughes loved the idea when I brought up the story brand framework, right? Very popular, makes sense, the hero's journey, all of this stuff. Okay, similar to this action selling framework. The difficulty with it is Mark was like, okay, Hubert, I'll send you to training and blah, 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 whatever. By the time you travel to the training, then get the textbook and do the homework and then get certified and everything else, you're talking about months of study until you can produce the output. Earlier, when I said that this AI is a huge mastermind, act as a sales leader skilled in the use of the action selling framework. Coach me in it. Suddenly, it's like you have an expert consultant that will coach you through this framework. Now, when your boss comes and says, or your colleagues says, "How are we doing on the framework?" Take a look at this. Why, Mr. Ridgely, you are a genius. I mean, do you see the power of this? And it's just incredible. And also, I want to mention this specifically for the new people. You can get started in AI and use these tools absolutely for free. Okay, ChatGPT has a free version. It's 3.5, and it'll do wonders for you. If you want to play with the big boys and do get the real cutting edge tools and everything, it's only $20 a month. On the other side, you can use Bard, and there's this new Copilot from Microsoft that is out and about. And so there's free AI tools all over the place to accomplish the same very thing. What do you think?
Yeah, now look at this. Now, as if you thought this wasn't good enough, why in the world would you agonize over how to do this effectively when, if I scroll down a little bit further, it says, by answering these questions, you'll be able to define a clear and effective commitment objective. Remember, the goal is to make each interaction with the customer meaningful and progressive toward a sale. Would you like to go through these questions one by one to craft your commitment objective? The answer is not just yeah, but hell yeah.
Yes.
right? Because then you're really going to be super smart.
Now,
And then
before you
you can do
continue,
that.
Richard, I do want to say the reason why it's asking it this way in a wizard-like way and explaining the framework is, as I said earlier, in the prompt engineering that we did, not only did we tell it to act as an expert in this framework, but then we also said, in your discourse with us, in your dialogue, explain what's going on, and also walk me through a series of dialogue questions, right? So part of the prompt engineering relies on the fact that, like, okay, some basic principles of education, the Socratic method or whatever, and you ask it to explain what it's doing for you. So those are the subtleties of prompt engineering. So I think with that as an example and those kind of basics, I think everybody should be caught up conceptually with AI. Now, if you jump into the AI world and try start learning stuff, and you see all these articles about programming AI and the languages and the recursive models and the data, this, that, and the other thing, you're going down the wrong road. Okay, so like I was in a forum and this was sad. I didn't have the energy to reach out to this person and break the news to them, but somebody said, listen, I'm a 55-year-old programmer and I haven't been involved with this, but I'm finally going to do it. I've been working on a marketing team and now I'm going to dig in and I'm going to learn this data model and that data model and this technology and that language. Dude, life is too short. AI is going too fast. Don't start on that end. There are 20-year-old kids smarter than you building this thing. Concentrate on using your business experience to learn how to drive the AI and provide value that it took you your 30 years in business to get. Now, originally, we have some very talented people in this mastermind of ours using AI very effectively. Are they programmers? No. What are they? They're very savvy, solopreneurs. They know their own business. They're subject matter experts. And by crafting the right prompts, they can run circles around tech type people.
That's exactly right. And that's why I say to anyone, if you're already in our mastermind, great. If you're not in our mastermind, either join ours or join one, because all the people who are using the AI tools that we're talking about have been in this mastermind learning how to do this stuff, which is what you need to do. And the example that I just threw up on the screen, this is an example that we started working on 20 minutes before this webinar began. Okay, so can you please take that in for a second? We did not start talking about this until 20 minutes before this webinar began at the top of the hour. That's how fast the tool is when you know how to use the tool. It is crazy the output that you can get, the speed with which you can do things when you know how to do it. And Hubert, I know you have some updates and some new stuff to bring to us or follow up with from the past on AI tools. So I'm turning it back over to you.
Right. And then I'll turn it back to you because I know we have a volunteer for the hot seat.
Okay.
Okay. And that would be Elaine. So Elaine, I believe you have some materials and so forth. I think visually that's the one.
All
Okay.
right.
So just to catch up a couple of things on the chat thread. So Bridget, this is why Bridget's so smart. She is in 3 AI masterminds, including this one. All right. So Antonia, I love training AI, what we do by entering our marketing content and then having ChatGPT create whatever content I need without having to wonder if it's going to be in context to whatever we want to present. See, that's awesome, right? And we will show you how to how to have your chat session consume PDFs that you attach, how it can actually even go look at videos and so forth. And that's part of the teaching that I'm going to show. Originally, any comment? Greg is on as well.
Perfect. Let's just
Awesome.
do it.
Okay.
Jump in.
So we are totally transparent on this mastermind. We don't ever share anything that's proprietary, but we do share things that we can as part of the teaching. If you all recall last week, we had a major opportunity in front of us. Originally came to me and said, this company started putting some limbic messages that it originally helped create on their website, but they weren't happy with the overall website design. And Hubert, can you do a mock-up? Because I'm going to go present to them and need your support. Let's wow them and win the job. Okay, so what happened was I showed this. Let me bring it up and show the whole story originally.
Okay.
And because this is part two, because everybody, I'm sure they were pinging me off screen saying, "Hey, how you doing with it?" You know, whatever. Because I showed this mock-up, right? So I went with a kind of a high design, kind of moving background type of image. Okay, and this is in the banking industry, and um, I revealed it live on the mastermind call last week. Ridgely looked at it, and so I showed him how it worked, and I basically did a corporate looking site for banking because it was in the banking industry, and we went through it and all of this, and people were like, "Hey, it looks great," or whatever. And then Ridgely said, "Hubert, I hate to burst your bubble, but I know the client, and this muted effect here, it is not snazzy enough." Right. So then I said, well, I had to screen it back because I wanted the lettering to be very legible. And Ridgely is like, dude, you got to stay up tonight and just, rework it because I'm hitting the road and I'm going to be seeing the client soon. So I said, okay, I'll stay up and I'll do it. And everybody, thank you for the well wishes last time. And they said, okay, good luck, Hubert. Wouldn't want to be ya. See ya. Okay. So that is where we left it. Okay. So what happened was this. I went ahead and recreated a second version, which I'll show you in a second. But I knew that Ridgely's going to be in front of the client. And, I've been around the block a couple of thousand times in terms of sales cycles and that sort of thing. Okay. And again, this is like my day to shout out Jim in our mastermind. Ridgely, Jim had sent me this, a Jim quote. Everybody likes to hear a good story. That really is the only way to sell anything. If it comes with a story, it is sold. Right. And so Ridgely, I know you agree with that because we are like masters storytellers and we incorporate the story behind everything that we do. Okay. So Jim is spot on with that. So for fun, I created after staying up all night, and when I'm punch tired, I was gonna say punch drunk, but that also happens to be the case, but that's not relevant here. I went and I created this little thing using AI. Okay, so let me go to AI. I ran this prompt. In the style of a wine review, write a paragraph of text describing a website design. Use terms that mimic, in an exaggerated way, a wine tasting notes paragraph. State how this design is fresh, full of vibrant colors, and catches the eye with Pop's modernist twists and animations. Okay. And so it wrote all of this, and I said, oh, cut it down to 200 words, and then it wrote this, and I realized, hey, let's cut it down to 100 words, and it made it shorter, and then now cut it down to 50. Okay, now that was on purpose, by the way. Now, originally, you and I haven't spoken about this, but if my target is 50 words, I actually like to have a larger set and work it down because then I have a palette to go back and refer to pull stuff from. Like this is just from being a writer, right? It's like you might as well have it, do a lot of work first and then cut it down. So I did that. Now I said, now produce another 50-word version, this time emphasizing muted elegance and restraint, right? Because the the version that I did was muted and originally wanted a punchier one. So then I created this screen here and originally presented this to the client. Two design variants are presented in this tasting menu. Test one and test two. Tasting notes. This website design is a vibrant spectacle bursting with bold, fresh colors and modernist flair. Its design captivates with playful animations and a harmonious layout, blending contemporary aesthetics and storyline twists. Each element enchants, leaving a lasting impression of bold innovation and visual sophistication in a lusciously photo-driven and impactful embrace. 5 stars with big impact and a blaze of color. Now, did AI write this 100%? No, but it wrote it 80%. And I took it the rest of the way across the thing just to kind of like give some tweaks. The second one, which I'm about, which was the one that I had showed you, is the exuding muted elegance. This design is perfectly at home in quiet Fortune 100 corridors and executive dining rooms. Its design whispers sophistication with restrained colors and understated animations. The layout embodies classic refinement, offering a tastefully sophisticated experience. Each visual element is thoughtfully curated and delightfully restrained, leaving you longing for more. Now, the reason why I did this was, I mentioned this last time. Ridgely said, I want a colorful one to show her. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. You'll get that. But the work that we did on version 1 is not to be thrown away. Okay. We're going to show version 1. I mean, the first one, the muted one, even though originally knows they're not going to like it. And again, with the story, I wanted to create some buzz around this and give Ridgely some stuff to play with and, make us memorable so that when the client goes away, they can say, oh my God, these people, I got to tell you about this funny thing that they did. So Ridgely, before I reveal the one you showed them, can you just speak a little bit about this experience? How did this go over with the client?
Well, it was hilarious because I arrived at the client's
Oh, Ridgely did not know any of this in advance. This was a surprise to Ridgely.
yeah. So I get there on Wednesday night, no, and Wednesday evening, knowing that we were going to do work on Thursday morning. And so we decided to just have dinner together. And for those of you that don't know, my mom used to run restaurants, and I grew up in restaurants and hating my mom because when I wanted to go play ball, she'd be like, yeah, as soon as you do those chopped vegetables, we'll do a reduction sauce, whatever. But I have this gift for playing in the kitchen. And so I had been friends with this client for 14 years or something like that. And it always said, whenever I'm in the kitchen together, we're going to do something. And she said, well, guess what? Remember what you've been saying for years and years? I'm like, oh, really? And then she starts pulling out 1,000 things on the kitchen counter for me to figure out some kind of meal that we're now going to share together. So we had a lovely dinner with some very nice wine that she'd personally bought for us to enjoy that evening before our 5-hour work session the next day. So when this came up, it was almost as though Hubert was reading my mind. And now we've got the 2 wine tasting variants of the websites that we're now going to present to take away a 6-figure contract from their current contractor. Okay. Hope everybody's tracking with me on this. Okay. So, and I felt like I knew what the client wanted. Hubert had the exuded muted elegance. I wanted the vibrant spectacle bursting with bold, fresh colors. And so we presented both. Hubert?
Excellent. Thank you. I didn't know that part of the story. Okay, so as a review, these actually are links. It says click to enjoy, right? So I click it, and that's how they see the previous version. So again, this is the muted one. Okay, then we're gonna go back, and now we're gonna click test 1, and it goes to the vibrant one. Okay, now the vibrant one I solved just so people with interest. You see, there's no screening back of the colors back here, so it's vibrant. And so then I just took the you deserve statement and just put a background behind just that element. And I used the brand colors of the logo for that company so that it would both scan well but be harmonious. Now, here's a big innovation. Okay. If you've heard people say if you've heard Ridgely say, limbic messaging works where you present a statement and the person listening to it agrees, right? In this case, you deserve to be among the industry's best. Ridgely always says, well, yes, I do. So Ridgely, we have a lot of new people here. Can you just take 30 seconds and explain what a limbic message is and why it evokes this yes, I do response?
So limbic message is an invitation into a belief or an invitation into a thought that causes you to nod your head yes. It is speaking to the emotional brain, or what's called the limbic brain. And the whole idea is to induce a yes state. So when somebody says, if somebody experiences, you deserve to be among the industry's best, they're looking at that, they're saying, well, yeah, I surely do. Yes, I do. Even if they don't purposely, intentionally nod their head, internally, they're definitely nodding their head.
Yes.
So we want to create messaging that causes someone to nod their head yes multiple times, so that when it comes time to take the next step in the sales cycle, whether that's buy your product, make an appointment, opt into a list, whatever it may be, they're already predisposed to say yes because they've been nodding their head yes. There are 3 or 4 different types of limbic messages. The top 3 that are most easy are we believe statements. So for example, we believe in saving the environment. If you happen to believe that, you're going, oh, I believe in saving the environment. Second is, you deserve to be among the industry's best. You deserve to be heard. You deserve to be successful. And the third one is because something matters. because sustainability matters, because community matters, because family matters, because your mama matters. Okay, it doesn't matter. Whatever it is that causes you to nod your head yes, that's limbic messaging, and it's highly effective. So in building any kind of marketing content, it should be a limbic message that causes a nodding of the head first, followed by copy that is all about the prospect, not about the company. In other words, it is prospect centric or partner centric, as we like to call it, so that the person that is experiencing that is nodding their head yes, and then they're receiving all that message as if it was a direct letter or communication to them. Hugh?
Yeah. Now, the big breakthrough is this. You deserve to be among the industry's best. Well, yes, I do. Look at the little cursor on here, originally. When I hover over it and I click it, it then goes to the next thought. Our purpose and mission is to help you get there, right? And so the little mechanism here is, yes, I do. They affirm it by pressing it, and it launches the rest of the website experience. And then they can go and scroll. Now you see I put, much more vibrant colors instead of that blue. It's their brand colors now. And, the rest of it is largely the same, but I've made the impact. See here, I just reverted to the rest of the colors. But you see, I made that impact here. And just to, get to the chase, they love it. And they said yes. And Ridgely was right. They liked the full color version, right? But they appreciated Ridgely. And you tell me if they agree with me that they appreciated the work that went into the other test one, this one here.
It was more than appreciation, because when you explain the reasoning behind why you did that, then the principal said, "You're right. I see what you're saying, but I really like this." And I think that's a very important message. If you know what your client likes ahead of time, then even though you might like something very different, make both versions, because if, at the end of the day, the client is making the call to take you to take your offer, your proposal, and say yes to it, over what they like, not what you like, right? And that's the whole concept of partner-centric copy. Talk to them about them, not about you. And of course, we ended up getting the business.
Yes, and then another follow-up thought, and then let's go to the hot seat, because I want to respect, and give enough time for that. Ridgely said, "Hey, let's start the engagement right away," right? So Ridgely and I had a session with the client, and I wanted to create a business brief. So we had a 10-minute meeting. I asked her to, give us, adjectives that describe her brand. Let me see.
So, in other words, clear thinking and intentional congruence.
So she goes through all of these concepts, right? And so I'm over there trying to scribble stuff down and everything, and then I hang up and I'm like, oh, I didn't sleep last night, and I forget what the client said or whatever. So what do? I upload this video to YouTube in my private channel, unlisted, and I go and I ask ChatGPT. Okay, now ChatGPT, if you pay the premium one, $20 a month, you can do plugins, right? And there's a plugin called VoxScript that lets you go and digest a YouTube video, right? And I said, here's my prompt: act as a branding expert and creative director. View the video at this URL so that I can ask you to summarize it for me. So it goes and it cranks away, and it goes and it understands the video. Not only that, but then it tells you what some of the key points are. And I'm looking at this and I'm like, wow, this is 100% correct. Okay, so for me to have done this, like, I was dead tired. I couldn't even listen to 10 minutes again and relive that, but this is super helpful. So then I say, this conversation in the video was for the purpose of understanding branding attributes and brand values, right? So I'm telling, in turn, AI what this was about, because I'm going to ask it for something. From this video content, create a creative brief that should be used in creating new websites for the brand. Include brand attributes that should be expressed. Now, again, I happen to have expertise in design projects and website design and so forth. So I'm using AI to help me in the process. But if you don't know what to ask, you get random stuff, is my point. Okay, so it goes and creates a pretty darn good creative brief. It's what the brand is about, the target audience, the objective. It went and listened to her explain, like, some of the attributes. And then because I had asked it to suggest new website features, it goes and tells you the elements, what tone, here are some key messages to use. And this is not even making it limbic yet. This is just explaining what the creative brief is. Then I said, explain to me the brand attributes, include adjectives that express what the brand stands for. So it goes and it synthesizes it. And yes, you know, like you just heard her say, intentional congruence. There it is, right? And then not only that, but it explains it, okay? And so I'm going to put this in the project documentation, and the client and my partner originally is going to think I'm a genius for being able to like understand that 10-minute thing on like 0 minutes of sleep, right? And so I go on and I ask it, okay, to support these branding attributes, what would you suggest in terms of color and typography and interactive elements? And it goes on and on and on. So I just wanted to share that as an example of how AI is now totally part of our workflow. It is not push button stupid in that like you can get the instant website redesign, but in the hands of a subject matter expert, that person becomes much more productive. And I can do now as one person what I needed a team of 12 to do back when I was doing this for like, you know, super large companies like you know, Chase Bank and those big players. So originally that's my little tour of what we've been up to this last week.
It's a little bit in the kind of especially if this is your first time visiting, it's a little bit in the super ridiculous category, right? I mean, to see that you could take a 10-minute conversation and turn it into a complete list of everything needed based very specifically on what the client told you they wanted, and come up with what Hubert just came up with, it's just remarkable. It is so remarkable that it is like, why in the world would you try to figure this out yourself when you have this tool? What you really want to do is to take the time to figure out how to use this tool, right? Take that time, play with it, come to these mastermind meetings, make sure you join a group or whatever where you can play with people where they can help you, because it is super nuts to try to figure this out yourself, but it is even crazier to not use this tool because you will be left in the dust. There's no doubt about it. It's just way too easy for people that are on this mastermind that are, you know, just regular folks to use these tools. And when you become really good at it, like someone like Hubert, he's going to kill you if you're in competition with Hubert. You don't have a chance. Zero, right? So, okay.
And just the final bookend of it, Richly, I got a private message from Roxanne. She said, I can tell I'm going to have a lot of fun working with you. So that made it all worthwhile.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. And of course, Roxanne is smart enough to understand that the tool is also doing a lot of the work, but you got to learn how to do this and you got to know how to use the tool. Right. Hello, Elaine.
Hi, Elaine. It's great to see you.
How are you guys?
We were doing well, and then you showed up, and now we are even better.
Oh, well, I'm even better with what I'm getting from you all. I just want to tell everybody, I mean, we've been working together for quite a few years, and you've changed my messaging and my whole everything. This is insane. I have tens of thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars on copywriters, some of it to you. But now, I mean, and sticking with you guys and learning it has actually given me the confidence to raise my deliverables and raise what I offer.
Yeah, we're doing congratulations.
Deep dives, because I work with women who have cancer. I've pivoted, that's all I'm doing now. And it's miraculous. So I cannot thank you all enough.
Well, and Elaine, I would encourage you, of course, within full confidentiality, if you're looking to do any kind of deep dive on content, or if you have a client that you're working with that wants to show up with you, bring them. We could probably do some pretty interesting research on cancer stuff. I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah, and you know, I share my journey. That's what I do, but
And just do us give us the 30-second for those people who don't know the fabulous Elaine Gibson. Could you just give us the 30-second of your history, what you've overcome, real quick, so everybody has the context,
Sure.
so that we can more fully do this right.
Of course, thank you. So I beat stage 4 non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, which was a recurrence 18 months after 5 years being cancer-free. When my medical team told me I would die and not see my grandchildren not grow up in 2008. So I went on a journey to put it all together. So today I am a green juice loving grandmother, and I have taken everything that I do with you or your help and put together deliverables and a group program, a higher ticket that I had before. And the results, the communication, the community, the love is incredible. And what I'm getting from you guys is so much fun, holiday time and poems and just all this. Every week I get something that is so friggin' incredible that they can't believe it. They can't believe it, right? In power, it's just amazing. And this is part of your legacy.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you. So we appreciate that, and we hope that we can do that for as many people as possible that have, I mean, not everybody has had as remarkable a journey as Elaine, but we all have a journey. We all have
Everybody has a
something to
journey.
share, and we all have something amazing. And when you're in a mastermind, you every now and then find out really interesting stuff, like Los Angeles just got hit by an earthquake. Like as in right now, just say it.
Wow.
Yep.
My goodness.
Stephen, who's in Los Angeles, just let us know.
Yeah,
Okay.
we use it for general stuff as well. Letter writing, if I have to communicate something or what's going on, whatever it is, I have so much fun. And then Nevin goes, whoa.
So what can we do to help you today?
Okay, so I am in a space that is interesting. So I do Facebook ads. We're scaling and we're growing incredibly. But my challenge is that I'm often attracting women that are not in the same healing mindset. So what I'd love to do is look at the one ad that we have. The copy of it was not done with you guys, is had from somebody they actually let go so that you and I could work together. So I'd like to, you'll see the graphics we have are very from you guys. We believe in a world, and I see all that. But the copy of the ad is not up to the standards that will attract a woman in this mindset.
Okay.
So let me show you what the ad looks like.
Yep.
So these are like graphics that we've done with you guys because of you guys. So here is the ad, okay? And this is one of the graphics that is in the ad, and then the same content is with this graphic. Okay. However, the copy is not up to par.
Mhm.
It really isn't. So this is the copy. I don't know what.
We're not seeing it right now. We're not seeing the copy. We're seeing.
Oh, you're not seeing the copy. Okay, so I need to share my screen better. So I often do the wrong one. Can you see it now?
Now we see it. Okay.
Okay, right. So this has not been run through, you guys know it's the common concept is that you appeal to somebody through their pain. I don't think like that. I don't believe that. I think that you concentrate on the solution and the benefit rather than the pain, because then nobody wants to spend any money to get better because they're victims and all that stuff. So anyway, I'm really looking to attract a woman that is ready for what we do.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Hubert, you playing with this too, bro?
I am. I'm running it through the one click, and let me share my screen, and then Ridgely, maybe you can use your prompt library approach, but let me just show everybody what we did with the PAF brain. Okay, so So everybody, as part of our mastermind, we have software called PAF Brain, and literally you push one button. Okay, so this is Elaine's website, renewedlivinginc.com. Okay, you enter the URL right here. You select a model. I'm going to choose the highest one, GPT-4, that's in the software. And there's a whole bunch of different tasks, and we'll play with those in a second. But I selected one called Facebook ad, and then I hit submit. Literally, I press one button. And this Facebook ad came out, and Elaine will send it to you, or you can generate it in when you go into yours.
Can I record this?
Yes, of course. And we will definitely send this to you as well. So actually, let me just copy this. Oops. Let me copy this. Now, I haven't even read the output yet, but we just see in one push of a button, are we getting something that's pretty good or not so good? So hold on, let me just drop it into the chat so that you can. I'm just listening to Facebook ad. PAF break. That way, it's always available in the chat recording and history. I'm just gonna drop it. Oh, it's not letting me paste it there. I will send it to you subsequently. I'll do save anyway. So originally, I'll just read this quickly, and then you take it over from there. Discover the key to a radiant, disease-free life with Elaine Gibson. Are you on the brink of a health crisis or simply eager to enhance your well-being? Meet Elaine Gibson, your guide to extraordinary living. As a stage 4 cancer victor, Elaine didn't just survive, she thrived, and she's now sharing her secrets with you. Dive into Elaine's extraordinary made easy method and learn how to harness your body's innate healing power. Whether you're battling health challenges or striving for peak vitality, Elaine's wisdom and personal success story provides the blueprint for a life of health and longevity. Join a community of vibrant individuals who, like Mary Jane and Brian, have transformed their lives. From losing 78 pounds to unlocking a new zest for life, Elaine's methods are making a real difference. Don't let another day pass in uncertainty. It's time to take control and become your most radiant self. Call to action is ready to embrace your extraordinary, ready to embrace your extraordinary. Click here and start your journey to a disease-free, joyous life today. So it doesn't go into the depth that you were talking about, but certainly it does pique some interest. Originally, any comment?
So talk about what you would do with that for a second while I'm logging into my.
So generally from here, what I would tend to do, well, so let me just say I would hit save.
Right.
Okay, and so let me just create a folder called Elaine, and then I'm going to just call it FB ad 1. Okay.
Is there a way to run the ad content, this ad through?
Yes. So what you could do is the other mode for this this ad was done based on the content at this web page.
Yes,
What you can do is flip this drop down to enter text, and then you would take your text and paste it from your Google Doc in here. I don't have access to it, so I can't do it live, but you can try that.
I have it on the screen. Yeah, it's a Word document. I can't set up my brain yet. I haven't figured it out.
Right. Now you would paste it in here, and then you would hit submit, and then it would, rewrite it based on that. Now, if you're going to do that, though, Ridgely's approach, Ridgely, I don't know, I'm going to stop my share in case you want to show what you're doing. But Ridgely's approach,
you go ahead.
Okay, using his prompt library would be another way to do it. Now, Elaine, you're down the road already, so you've been giving this a lot of thought and all of that. So you may not necessarily need the push button simplicity of the PAF brain for this, but certainly if you were just starting out and looking for a first draft, you could use that output of first draft. Right. And then what you could do typically is I would then go to ChatGPT, where I could dialogue more extensively and say, help me rewrite. First off, I would say, act as a world-class Facebook ad writer and help me create maximum conversions for my project, blah, 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 and you describe it. Rewrite the following ad, Facebook ad, so that, and then you mention some, mention some things. And then in the prompt, I would also say, as you make suggestions, explain to me, the reasons behind your thinking, and then run that, and then you can dialogue and work with that. So it's almost like having your own copywriter that you can then, have unlimited tweaks and so forth, on the fly. And so, that's one way to use the PAF brain output or your current output to kind of like keep leveraging it.
Mhm.
I'm on this new computer, so I'm having a tech challenge. Can you use AI and grab Elaine's content and pop that in there and see what we can do to give some prompts of what to do with that?
Yeah, but are you suggesting putting it in ChatGPT or in the PAF brain?
Either one. I was thinking ChatGPT, but because that's what I'm trying to log into and having challenges here.
Right. Okay.
I'm in.
You're in now?
Yeah, finally.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Your dedicated account, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Okay. So did you by chance go all the way back, Elaine, and check out the prompt library before creating this copy or no?
No, this copy was created by, the guy who was doing it for me. And then I had some input, and then this is what we're using. I have not, no, I did not create this from the beginning. It's my story from them interviewing me.
Okay, so
But I don't
let's-
think they get it. I don't think that most people get it.
well, so why don't we go back to do this kind of the right way, which is go to the beginning and say, what are we trying to accomplish here? What are we looking to do? And really get the tool to help us refine it so that, so we're in ChatGPT 4. I'm going to go into my prompt library. I'm going to talk to the prompt creator. And then we're going to do this the right way. And then I will give you all of this content because you're right. Most people don't get it.
That's great. Ridgely, do you mind stretching your windows larger so that we have an easier time seeing? Just drag the edges of that wider.
Yeah.
Right.
Hold on. How's that? That do it or no?
No.
Yes, I see it now full.
Yeah,
Okay.
but the text
Well,
didn't get
I can do it this way though too.
Oh.
text didn't get any bigger.
Ah,
Okay.
now what am I doing?
I don't know. You dragged it away. There we go. Just drag.
Okay, people. So what's happening here? Here, now it's making it bigger.
you
What's
go.
happening here is that Ridgely has a big, huge new iMac, and I haven't figured out how to use the damn thing properly yet.
Ridgely,
Okay.
Ridgely, just
Yeah.
hold down Command and tap the plus sign, and it'll make the font bigger.
Okay, hold on.
Command plus, and then do it a couple of times.
Yeah, I did. There we go. Bigger, right? Good, people?
Yeah.
Okay. So right down here, I'm going to tell the tool what it is that the tool needs to be. You are,
Ridgely.
yes,
You are, no, you are Ridgely.
Back is Ridgely.
an expert copywriter. Charged with writing Facebook ads. Doesn't matter that it's misspelled.
Right.
On the very sensitive topic of overcoming cancer as a woman. I can start as simple as that.
Right.
It's going to tell me that this is not a very good prompt. 6 out of 10, pretty terrible. But I can walk through the process, and rather than having to be super smart about this, watch how we refine this using the commands and the instructions from the tool itself. Okay, so what style are you looking for? What tone or style would you like, Elaine?
I would like,
Sensitive, personal, I mean, just
empathetic, badass.
empathetic.
Yeah,
What else?
well, I said badass, right? That's the women I'm looking for.
Uh-huh.
It's people who are looking to, it's a belief that the body can heal itself. That's the concept, basically.
Okay, hold on one second. It's all about the belief that the body can heal itself.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
And it needs to attract women that that are not set in women that are ready to take responsibility for their own healing.
Okay, hold on. I want to capture that.
Right.
This will attract women who are ready to take responsibility for their own healing
And are
Oh.
not defined by cancer.
and who are not defined by cancer. And what are you going to get when they contact you? What are they going to get? Are they going to what are the details of that? If they set up a call with Elaine, what are they going to
So
discuss?
what they're going to do first is they're going to fill out an application, and then they have a call with my triage person. But what are they going to get is
And
is
what's the application about? Tell me what that's about.
to speak with it. The application is to speak with one of our health consultants to see how we can help.
Okay.
Right. And there are financial things on the application, but it's taken care of that. There are women that believe they have a much bigger mission.
Oh, one sec. Key phrases include, I have a much bigger mission. Okay, what else?
Right. It's all about their legacy.
Out legacy. Yep.
And that they are enough.
Okay. We're getting closer here. We went from 6 to 7.5. Now we're just educating the tool. Now we're at 8.5. We're getting better. So we're consistently educating the tool about what it is we're looking for. Is there an image or a graphic that will align with the message that you want?
Well, yeah, we have several of those graphics.
Describe one for me.
Well, they're the ones with a picture of me and a statement. That's,
What do you define? How do you define yourself? You are Elaine Gibson is.
I call myself a green juice loving grandmother, but I'm a cancer victor. They told me I wouldn't see my grandchildren grow up. I am featured in award-winning documentaries. I've been on the cover of Virginia Woman. So a lot of it is they know a lot of other people, and it's establishing my authority. And that's the intention, really, is to establish my authority to attract them, that they can work with someone like them who has done that. I've been cited as the 4th most inspirational international natural cancer survivor by Extreme Health Radio. So I have. I've been featured in award-winning documentaries.
Now we're up to 9 out of 10. Let's see if we can take it just a tiny bit. Okay. What do you want the emotion or the message of the image of Elaine to convey?
My a picture of me, of what health looks like. I mean, I am almost 79, so this is really important. And a statement that believes in them, that they can connect with, which is why one of them is, we believe that cancer is only a chapter in the, things like, we see a world where, right.
Do you have a particular color scheme by chance?
Oh, absolutely. We're very branded.
Okay, what is that? What's the color scheme?
It's purple, teal, green. We throw in some gold and sparkles and butterflies all the time.
By the way, if everybody's noticing that's watching this, all you're doing is hearing me talk to Elaine and pop in information. I'm not judging it at all. I'm simply doing the work to use the tool so that it's not Ridgely's influence at this point. We can get to that later, but right now I'm just using the tool. We're at a 9.5. I think that's good enough. So
Right.
let's run it and see
Great.
what the good. Sorry.
So can I just say this? The whole thing is that what I have to offer them is what I do. So it's about creating a lifestyle where cancer can't live in the body, but it's giving them my journey is their classroom. So my journey is not about me, it's about their learning, and they're learning from somebody who has walked in their shoes. So I know exactly where they are. And most of the time, they don't have anybody to talk to.
Right. They don't.
Right.
Okay. Here we go. Now you can see what we started out with, and I'm just going to read this prompt here. So we got to 9.8. Now we're good. So what we started out with is, hey, we're writing a Facebook ad for cancer women, right? Basically. Now what it turned into is develop a Facebook ad targeting women navigating their cancer healing journey, featuring Elaine Gibson, an iconic figure and the fourth most inspirational cancer survivor. The ad should depict the concept of creating a lifestyle where cancer cannot thrive, embodying Elaine's approach to health. Visual design will utilize a color scheme of purple, teal, green, and gold, with elements like sparkles and butterflies to symbolize hope and transformation. Key phrases: I have a much bigger mission, it's all about legacy, and they are enough should be integrated to resonate with the audience's empowerment. The call to action is for completing an application for a consultative call, underlining the commitment to a transformative, cancer-resistant lifestyle. That sound about right, Elaine?
It sounds about right.
Okay. I know you're laughing because we're having some fun here.
I
Okay.
love it. This is like the best thing.
Right? Isn't it crazy
Yes.
how you can do this? Now we're going to get an image, but then we're going to create the text.
Right.
Now you can see that it does doing some goofy stuff, but check this out.
I know.
I
Yeah.
mean, that's like super cool.
Yeah. Yeah. And we do have images that were inspired by you guys. I've been using that, I have like, we believe statements you deserve, and we see a world where.
Yeah, and even now it's coming up with, we believe in empowering your body to create an environment where cancer is unwelcome.
Right.
Ready to redefine your journey with cancer. Meet Elaine Gibson, ranked Elaine doesn't survive, she thrives. Now, I would do this. I would say, great, thanks. What would you like to say in the headline? What are the things that would really make a difference in your mind in the headline, Elaine? What types of characteristics?
In the headline. Well,
What do you want the headline to do? to really jar somebody, to shake them up, to empower them,
to give them confidence, to empower them, and to let them know that that they can do it. That this is, this is just a chapter. It's so like some of the things I'll say is, well, someone said hope, and I don't use hope at all because hope is a very passive. Hope is like letting somebody else do it. I do believe, I know, so hope is,
okay.
yeah.
So I want to point out to everybody, what am I doing? I'm using the tool. So I'm
You're
saying, I want this to sound more like this. So I
right.
wrote, can you give us 10 headlines that really give women the confidence to seek help in a bold and badass way? So it just gave us 10 headlines. Defy expectations, be the heroine of your health journey. Cancer met its match. Join the League of Extraordinary Survivors. Redefine strength. Show cancer it picked the wrong fighter. Cancer's
Oh my
tough, but you're
God.
tougher. Right. Right.
Right.
Right? It's
Yeah,
crazy stuff, right?
right. Yeah.
So is there a different tone you would like about the headlines before we go any further? Or tell me which of these 10, give me the top 2 or 3 that you like the most.
Um, fearless and unstoppable, bold. I don't like beating cancer.
Just give me the numbers. I like 2, 3, and 6.
Okay. 10, 7, 6.
Good?
Yeah, I like
Okay.
3. Yeah, right.
So now I just said, give me 10 more that are like 10, 7, and 6. See how I just keep drilling and iterating?
Right,
Well, there's no
right,
reason to have to figure this out.
right.
And now, write your victory tale. Cancer's just a plot twist. Harness your power.
So and I, when I was listening last week, I spent hours after that about we see a world, we envision a world. That to me was really even more powerful than we believe. I mean, I use we believe that these statements a lot. Um, but I think that the painting a picture of them, does that make sense?
Yep. Incorporate, we picture a world where what?
Well, if just my own, the way I use it, I would copy these 10, put it in there, and now do create, we picture a world, we vision, and make these into, we envision a world where.
Well, hold
we
on. We'll just
believe.
we
Does that
could
make
work really
sense?
hard, or we could just go like this and just give me something that's
You know what I mean?
okay.
Yeah, of course,
Let me
right.
just use the prompt and just go like that. I just use some limbic messages and just and we'll just make it happen really fast.
Yeah, these are just epic, right? There you go. This is all that. Yep.
You deserve a life where cancer is just a word, not a
Oh my
sentence.
God, that's amazing. That is so cool.
I love that. Where cancer meets its match in
These
every
are
way.
even stronger than what I had, right?
Well, so outstanding.
Yeah.
And now must the text only for a Facebook ad that incorporates some of these limbic messages.
So is there a way to ask, well, I'm sure there is, I don't know if this makes sense. And I know the copy does this, but to appealing to a woman like that has the money, does that make sense? That is
Yeah.
successful, you know?
You write an ad that appeals to well-to-do women with cancer who have the means and desire to do what it takes
Right,
to grow up with their grandchildren.
there you go, right.
Okay. Now, if you go back up to here, you can go in there and then swap out the headline for whichever one you
Sure,
want.
of course,
And then all of this. We
right,
understand your deepest desire. Are you looking to watch your grandchildren grow and thrive? You worked hard and now it's time to ensure that we offer path not just to ride cancer. You can get much more aggressive with this.
right.
So I want to do that real quick.
Mhm.
Terrific. Now, give us another version.
You know, it's
Also,
about enjoying, looking ahead, forecasting, about spending time with your grandchildren and, you know, yeah, and your legacy and all that, but yeah. And tells a story about your life with your fear of missing out, right, right. That's why I say I'm a green juice loving grandmother, because in 2008, they told me I wouldn't see my grandchildren grow up. So I call myself today, that's my greatest accomplishment, that today I am a 78-year-old green juice loving grandmother. Mm.
right? We speak to the fierce woman within you, the one who isn't ready to let cancer dictate her life scripts. This is more about treatment. It's about a battle for every precious moment you deserve with your family. You built a legacy, but are you prepared to fight tooth and nail to enjoy it? Imagine all the milestones, your child's weddings, your grandchild's first steps, growing old with grace and vitality. Now imagine missing them. Unacceptable, right? We're here for women who refuse to let cancer steal those moments. Because every moment missed is a memory lost. We're not just fighting cancer, we're fighting for your place at every birthday, every holiday, every ordinary day that makes life worth living.
Wow.
Are we getting there?
Yeah, what do you think?
I think that's pretty brutal. Got tears in my eyes trying to read
Right,
it.
yeah. And we always have to have in everything the concept that the body can heal itself. That is
Good.
that they have.
Stay just as raw and aggressive and incorporate the concept that the body can heal itself without letting up on the FOMO element.
Mm.
Now it's not just, now this is copy editing that we're doing now, right? Now I'm having to come in and use my knowledge as a writer to give more direction. So although the tool is doing the work, it's now incorporating subtleties that we learn, right? So now here we go. Let's take a look. We believe in the fierce power of self-healing. This isn't just about cancer. It's about awakening your body, own warrior spirit to conquer this enemy. Think about the moments that cancer threatens to steal from me, your daughter's laughter at her wedding.
Mm.
Now fuel that fear into a fire. Refuse to miss a single one. Our approach is raw, uncompromising, and rooted in the belief that with the right support, your body can do miracles. It's for women who have the resources, the resolve, and the raw courage to say, I will witness every milestone. You have a choice. Watch your life from the sidelines or fight to be in every picture, every memory, every cherished moment, because surrendering to cancer is not in your nature. So, as you can see, this is legit. Now, I don't know which one is going to pull the best, but now you have stuff that really, if somebody is that right demographic, and this is an ad that fits exactly what you were talking about.
Exactly.
Yeah, and originally, just like we did with our methodology for the YouTube ads, you take some of those different headlines and you mix and match, and you do a
Right.
discovery kind of thing, and then you just do a bunch of A/B testing to see which pulls the best.
Yeah, and we do a lot of, my guys do a lot of testing.
So, you got enough to play with?
I think I do. I think I do.
Make sure you send this all to Elaine Ridgely right now.
Oh, really? You're just a pain.
It's just
I'm
like
gonna have to cut it and paste it.
no, it should be able to save.
Well, it's not saving because what's happening is there's an image. Sharing with conversation with image is not yet supported.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna go like this. But that's okay, because that is not a difficult thing to overcome. I'll just pop it into a Word doc and
Word
send it.
document, right?
But
Well,
I hope that go ahead, Cube.
No, I was thank you for sharing, Elaine. That was quite
Well,
moving.
thank you. Thank you. And now, of course, now the next step is for us to finish my website so we can, we've got some going, but I think that we're ready to be more effusive of what we're doing now.
Cool. All right, whenever you're ready, just hit me up. We'll take that offline and we'll make that happen.
Yeah, we are. I'll get on your calendar tonight.
Get on my calendar. All right.
Yeah, and then I'll go in there and I can add like the concept of vitality and joy and that, because that's what it's all about, is creating a life of joy and vitality, so that you are right. This is awesome. Thank you so much, guys. You're amazing.
It is our pleasure, of course, to support in whatever way we can. So thank you for for showing up, and we will get you this content for sure. And the Art asked question, is fighting concept necessary? Will some respond better to pure positivity? And the answer, Art, of course, is we don't know until we put it out there and try it. So obviously we can do that, and we will do that, but until we give it a shot, we just don't know. So and that's why the beautiful thing is we just iterate and iterate and make it happen. And once we feel like we've got the right ones, we put it out there, we test, and we do some A/B testing, and we see which ones work, and go from there. That's really the game.
Right.
So,
Thank
all
you.
right, Elaine, thank you very much. I'll get this over to
Okay.
you, and talk to you very soon. You
Yes,
have my
you will.
link. All right. Okay. Everybody else, next week, guess what it is, Hubert Lee?
Is it Mind Types After Dark?
Mind Types After Dark. Okay. Rocking the house. So again, if you are brand new to this and you need a mastermind to belong to an AI, get on my calendar. We'll talk about if you're the right fit. Want to make sure you are. And for everybody else, we're reconvening next week on Thursday evening, the 15th, for Mind Types After Dark, 8 o'clock Eastern Time, 5 o'clock Pacific. It is, of course, a lot of fun. We are a little bit irreverent. Bring your favorite beverage, whether that's coffee, tea, or whatever else you like after dark. And we have some fun. Hubert, you leaving us with anything today, my man?
Yes, yes. In recognition, tomorrow is a big day. It's the Year of the Dragon starts tomorrow. So happy Chinese New Year, everybody. Or, as they say in China, Happy New Year.
Oh, yeah? What about a joke?
I have a joke. So two dragons, it's the Year of the Dragon, right? So two dragons walk into a bar originally, and the first dragon says, "Oh, it's hot in here." And the second dragon says, "Okay, well, shut your mouth." I have another joke. So originally, I do have a date for Chinese New Year. It's February 10th this year.
Uh-huh. Nice. That's it. We're out of here. Okay, people. We'll see you later. Like I said, hop on my calendar if you need us to, and please bring your stuff. Support at partnerchecksandformula.com. Great to see all of you as always. Have a terrific weekend. You are the best, and we love you all. Ciao for now. All
Come on, guys.
right. Bye, guys. Ciao.